Hey guys, it's Antonio and welcome back here to another episode on Gladiator Disc Golf. Now, today we're not going to be doing a disc review for a couple reasons. One, I haven't really had much of a chance to go out and film while I've been throwing, but two, and more importantly, is I kind of busted up my finger pretty badly, so I'm not really able to grip a disc right now and throw it. And so I'm just going to have to talk to you guys a little bit about something that's been on my mind for a little while I think would be really beneficial for a lot of players. And that's the mental game, okay? And sort of that Mamba mentality, okay? I know Kobe Bryant's been on a lot of people's minds for the last week or so, and for good reason. But it's really brought people back to what motivated them to be the best athlete they could be. And one of that was his mental toughness. And so today, I want us to talk about mental toughness in the game of disc golf and how we can improve as players. Being mentally tough is more beneficial than any other aspect in disc golf. It doesn't matter how far you can throw or really how good of a putter you are if you're not mentally tough. Because if you can make a 15-foot putt for 17 holes, but when the pressure is on that 18th hole for you to win the round or to win the tournament or whatever it is, if you can't make that 15-foot putt because you're nervous and you're not mentally strong, what good was the previous 17 holes? What good is it to just get second place because you weren't mentally strong enough? And so that's one thing that we're going to be talking about today, just sort of ways we can improve our mental strength. But before we get to that, let's talk about some of the benefits, okay? Aside from winning, you have more controlled playing, okay? You're not going to freak out and lose your cool when you're mentally strong, because things happen, mistakes happen. You hit a tree, there's an iron twig or an iron leaf, whatever you want to call it. Things happen on the disc golf course, and especially in tournaments where you're playing multiple rounds, things happen. And the mentally tough players can accept the consequences of what happened and move on. Another thing is you'll have an even-keeled demeanor. Nothing's going to get you too excited or too down in the middle of a round, okay? And obviously you'll have lower scores. You'll be scoring better, you'll be playing better because you're more focused. But also, it makes disc golf a lot more fun. When you're mentally strong, it's a lot more fun to go out and play with people and everything because you're not so focused on really just, you're not too worried about ruining it for everyone, and you're having more fun because you're playing well, and that's the biggest thing. Now, when you're not mentally tough, and we've all played with people who are not mentally tough, is you kind of are a loose cannon. You're not really fun to play with, and because you start getting really frustrated. And the flip side, all of a sudden something good happens, and all of a sudden you're talking smack and all this stuff and thinking you're the best player there is, and really you make it hard on your card mates to sort of enjoy the round. And whether it's in tournament or just a casual round, if you're someone who's not mentally tough, you're hard to play with because you just jump the gun on everything. And with that, you're easily distracted. Someone who's easily distracted can't really push through in a round. There are going to be rounds where you just score poorly on every hole, and I have had those, and it's the worst. But one thing that I've been working on is this mental toughness, and even when I was having that really tough round a few weeks ago, I made sure to still just, hey, I'm still having fun, I'm still playing disc golf, and sort of, pushing through it. And when you are in that mode where you're just not playing well and you're really frustrated and you're taking it out on your bag, on a tree, on your disc, you're gonna have a really bad score because you're not able to focus on what it is you're doing at the time. So, those are the pros and cons, but how do we move from the cons to the pros? How do we improve our mental toughness? Well, the first thing is visualize yourself being successful. They talk about this in every sport. Before a big game, visualize yourself making that catch. Visualize yourself making that putt, that drive. If you do that, it will come true. If you can visualize yourself being successful, when the moment comes for where that pressure is on you, you're going to say, I've been preparing myself for this. I've been ready for this. And if you can picture it, you can do it. The second thing is breathe, okay? It's very important to breathe and not let yourself overwhelm and sort of hyperventilate under the pressure and be stressed out about it. Just breathe. If you have 30 seconds to putt, if you have to use all 30 seconds, use all 30 seconds to putt. There's no reason to rush that putt when you're full of anxiety and stress. Just breathe. The third thing, and I do this a lot, is I talk to myself throughout the round. If I need to separate myself, by about 30, 40 feet from the rest of the card as we're walking to the next hole and just sort of been like, hey, you got this, you're out here having fun, you're playing disc golf, I do that. And I notice I play better. I notice that I feel better. And when I feel better, I know that I'm not having a negative impact on the rest of the card. And in that positive talk, I also do number 4. I remember to have fun. Okay? Very few people are making money to live off of disc golf. Okay? So I have a huge competitive side to me and I want to be the best I can be, but I also want to have fun. I don't want disc golf to be a chore. I don't want going out to rounds to be a chore. And so I'm trying to have as much fun as possible. And the last thing is something that actually Ken Climo has said. And if you don't know who Ken Climo is, he's a 12-time world champion, quasi-retired right now. I think he only plays occasionally, but 12-time world champion, awesome guy. And one thing he said that I think he was speaking to a younger player is, you're focusing for 3 hours, I'm focusing for 15 minutes. And the thing, and that is just so powerful, because what he's telling all disc golfers is, your round can last 3 hours. By the time you reach that last hour, you are mentally exhausted if you're focusing on every single second. That means walking to the next hole, waiting for your card mates to throw, waiting for them to putt. That's wasted energy, that's wasted mental strength. You maybe only do something for max 15 minutes throughout an entire round, if that, maybe more like 7 minutes, okay? Don't focus for 3 hours. Focus for 15 minutes. Focus when it's your turn to throw, when it's your turn to putt. Focus on the moment of what is happening. And when that is over, and when you're walking to the next hole, relax. Just relax, breathe. Okay? So those are the 5 things that you need to do to improve your mental toughness, guys. I hope this video was helpful for you. Please subscribe and like and leave a comment below to give some feedback. What are some things that you do to mentally improve your game? Alrighty guys, that's all I have for today. Have a good round.